Rolando, thanks for sitting down with me today. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Rolando, Dow has had some major regulatory, or they cleared some major regulatory hurdles in this past year. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of those initiatives?
Yeah. This year in September, we cleared the USDA for Enlist, both corn and soybeans. And in October, we cleared the chemical solution that goes with Enlist, Enlist Duo, for, again, both corn and soybeans. So it is, for us, it's a major event. We have been working, as you can imagine, on deregulation and all the different studies and submissions that it takes, and the U.S. is a key component of our global strategy, and we're very happy to finally get it.
And what does it mean to farmers? What's going to be the big change?
Well, you know, I think what we see today is a significant shift of priorities in terms of what worries to the farmer from the early years of Roundup Ready technology, where weeds seem to be a problem of the past, to today where due to weed shifting, resistance, and challenges of the environment, they seem to have more problems with the weeds. So Enlist comes as an very effective solution with a very innovative new approach to formulating 2,4-D, which is old chemistry, but with an outstanding new formulation that allows 2,4-D to be used without with reduced drift and volatility, which is very important for today's world and environment.
And so will that mean a full launch for 2015 or a limited release launch for 2015?
No, we will have a limited release in 2015. We call it a commercial introduction. As you know, in the world today, things are not as easy and simple as having an approval and going to market, especially on crops that move around the world. So we're very respectful of the global trading, and we are waiting for our final submission to China, which happened last month on corn, and hopefully we'll have good news during the season. But in the meantime, we'll have a stewarded approach.
And what kind of protocols are we looking at for the 2015 season then?
Well, first, there are protocols they have to follow, so we will be very careful with where we present our Enlist program, and the farmers have to accept and sign these protocols before we do anything, and it will be essentially limited to on-farm feeding and making very sure that we don't go into the grain channels. So
Enlist is a brand that's been around for a bit now, and now we've got Enlist 2.
Yeah.
How does that enhance the Enlist portfolio?
Well, Enlist is like a two-component brand, because on one hand is the trait in the soybeans, in the corn, and hopefully in the near future in cotton too. And on the other hand is the chemical solution, which is the 2,4-D formulated, as we said, with a very unique and proprietary mode of formulating. So I think that is, it really enhances our presence in the marketplace in both the seed world as well as the crop protection world. So we're very excited. We know the journey has been a little bit longer than we anticipated, but for the right reasons. I mean, we're now making sure we have all the deregulations in the world. We're making sure we have all the permits. We're making sure we have all the information we needed to be very safe on the grain trade.
Nice. And you talked about crops. So Enlist now in corn, soybeans.
Hopefully in cotton we submitted, and we're waiting any moment.
Cotton comes short. What do you see next on the horizon? What's the next?
No, that's it. That's it. I think with that we have more than enough. Our hands full.
Right. And then in July, Dow announced an agreement down in Brazil.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, in July we announced we agreed with the owners of a company called Codetec to buy it. we had been working with them for quite some time, both in the corn as well as in soybeans, where they were one of our future licensees for Enlist. We find this a very good opportunity to enhance our presence in Brazil with not only germplasm in soybeans, in wheat, and in corn, but also outstanding facilities and a network of co-ops that is behind Codetec. So we're now waiting for antitrust. We hope that any moment we will have the good news and start working with them as one more of our partners or affiliated companies.
I'm thinking that your background coming from South America enhances this kind of partnership deal down into South America?
Well, no. It helps because you understand. It helps because you can communicate. Right. But actually, we have a very strong organization in Brazil. They did all the work in terms of the negotiation. It was the typical negotiation, and it's good that we had the presence, the boots in the ground in Brazil. Right. So they did it. They finished their negotiations. We're now waiting. As we know, antitrust takes time anywhere in the world, so we're confident we'll get it before the end of the year.
Nice. So if you look into your little crystal ball that we all get asked to do down here in Chicago during this week in December, what's the big thing on the horizon that the seed industry is going to have to grapple with? What do you see as the issue du jour, so to speak?
I think the issue of the day or the next coming years. First, two or three different things. First, we're obviously facing headwinds, prices, shifting of acres. So as an industry, when you have these massive swings of millions of acres from corn to soybeans, well, it affects us. It affects everyone. Some are benefited, others are not so much. So I think that is, for at least this year, we're seeing that as a significant effect. If we look a little bit more on the longer term, I think the combination of trades, global approvals, it essentially has risen to a much higher visibility by everyone. I think hopefully both the regulatory authorities and the industry can work together and start proposing a global standard. Pretty much it has been a desire for some time. With some of the international trade, I think today it's a need. So hopefully I think that will catch a lot of attention this coming 2 or 3 years.
Couldn't agree more. Well said, sir. Thanks very much again for sitting down with me. I appreciate your time.
No, on the contrary. Thank you very much for having me.